I guess just want to summarize all that. For me, this is about stopping frustration for 100,000 people. This is about showing people how to do job search right, so that when they're doing the job search, they know they're doing it right, and if they're not getting results, at least they know they're doing it right. And so they can be a blessing to themselves and their families and to other people by knowing that that's working and that's not being frustrating for them, and it's not causing them to be acting out with other people and hurting other people and causing frustrations for their families and that kind of stuff.
I think, Christopher, too, you mentioned corporate a couple times. This is
If you're searching online and you think that you're doing a modern job search, then I have news for you. Only about 11% of jobs these days are found online. So you need to learn some modern job search techniques. So if you're using old-fashioned job search techniques in a modern job search, then you've got problems. So you have to have confidence in yourself when you go into this interview. And if you're not sure about yourself, then you can't be sure of yourself. So you have to learn about yourself and the words to use to describe yourself. When you can describe yourself and communicate with confidence, well, when you can describe yourself, you can communicate with confidence. So that's the main point of all of this. Learn to tell your stories. That's really important. When you learn to tell your stories, people can look into your eyes and they can see that it's true, and you'll have credibility. So the average resume is a history of what you've already done, and so when you write that history out there, you're telling the company that you want to do what you've always done. If you want to advance, you have to pick out the best parts out of your experience and tell them what it is that you want to do in the future based on your best achievements out of the past. So then we can move forward. Job seekers tend to write letters about themselves. So when you write about yourselves, it's kind of telling the company that you're all about yourself. Companies want people that like them, and so they want to see a letter that's all about them. So write a letter about the company, what they want, and what you can do for them. That's really important. So of course you want to write down what you're going to say in the interview, and the reason behind that is because when you go into the interview, what you say, whatever comes out of your mouth, you're committed to that. You can't take that back. So when you write it down, you commit it to paper first, and that gives you a chance to improve on what you put down. And that gives you two advantages whenever you're in the interview. Number one, you've already discovered the pitfalls before you get into the interview, and so you don't fall into those pitfalls. You avoid the pitfalls. And number two, you can improve on the good answers that you would have given and make them even better. So being able to avoid the pitfalls and improve your answers, that makes all the difference. Most people look for a job. I look for a company. Companies like people who like them. Look for the company. Most job seekers spend 95% of their time on the computer. We need to get off of the computer more, and we can use the computer to do that. We can use the computer to automate our job search, and if you learn how to do that, you can cut your time on the computer down by 80%. And spend most of that time out actually talking to employers and people who will connect you to employers. People are terrified to network for a job. And yet 70% of jobs are found through networking. So instead of networking to find a job, network to make friends. Your friends will find you the job. So most people, when they receive the offer, 90% of them don't even bother to ask for more. The company, on the other hand, is offering a little bit lower than what they actually would pay, simply because they expect that maybe the person might want to negotiate, and then they want to make them feel better about offering, so give them a little bit more and allow them to feel good that they won the negotiation. They got a little bit more. So give yourself an instant raise here. For heaven's sakes, ask for a little bit more and learn how to do that without losing the offer. That alone should pay for everything going on in your job search, all the costs going on, and even for a delay in finding a new job.